Welcome back. In the previous videos, we have seen the work of add generated value annotation. This annotation will help us to automatically increment the primary key of the table, which help us to identify the table, and through that we can extract the data and read the data. Update delete operation we have done with the help of this primary key ID only. Okay, we have already seen that in our previous videos. Now in this video we are going to talk about how many types of strategy exist for this auto incrementation of this primary key ID. Okay, now what I will do here add generated value strategy, generation type dot. Now you can see that there are 4 different strategies exist for the incrementation of the ID. What are those? Auto, identity, sequence, table. Okay, auto, identity, sequence, and table. Now let's understand about these different strategies. The first one that we are going to talk about is sequence. Now here in the sequence, the definition it is given here indicates that the persistence provider must assign primary key for the entity using a database sequence. So with the help of a database sequence, it will assign the primary keys identity. Okay, let's see that one. Let's save the data, go back to the H2 console. I will just refresh the screen, and after that I will go inside. Now here I can see that one sequences option is there, and under that hibernate underscore sequence, and current value is given 0. So hibernate underscore sequence will help us to maintain the incrementation of the ID. So we will see that it will maintain the incrementation. For that, what we will do, we will go to the main our web page, localhost 8080/total details, and here I am going to add one data. Save the data here. Now one data I have saved here. Now we will refresh the H2 console. Now we already know what data is stored here, but this is not the part that we will check into. We will go to the hibernate underscore sequence. Now you can see that here current value is right now 1. Okay, and our primary key ID of the poaching details also 1. So if I will save the next data, then the ID will be 2 and our current value will be changed to 2. Hibernate underscore, with the help of a hibernate underscore sequence, it is increment the data. Now if you want, instead of hibernate underscore sequence, we can change the name as per our requirement. For example, let's say here I am going to keep the name, instead of hibernate underscore sequence, I will keep something like that, course table, course sequence. I think that will be better. Refresh the screen again. Go inside sequence. Now you can see that the name has changed, course underscore sequence. Now you can manipulate the data little bit more with the help of a add sequence generator annotation. Okay, now we understood how the sequence it will work. Okay, with the help of through the definition also we can understand actually. It generates the sequence for the primary column of the table, and persistence provider must use a database sequence with the help of a database sequence to get the next unique primary key. Okay, we got this one. Now the next one that we are going to talk about is GenerationType.Identity. First of all, we will see the definition of the identity. here it is showing that indicates that the persistence provider must assign primary key for the entity using a database identity column. So it will, a database identity column will be assigned for the auto increment of the data. So as per the definition, what I am understanding from our database point of view, this is efficient. Auto incremented, it relies, so from this definition I can understand that it relies on an auto incremented database column with each insert operation, and as per the database point of view, this is very efficient because the auto increment columns are highly optimized and it doesn't require any additional statements. Okay, so what I will do, I will save the data. Now I will go back to the screen, refresh the screen again, and we'll go inside, go to sequence. Now sequence is the current value is there. Now it will generate, but previously it was working under hibernate_sequence. Now this is a system sequence, database entity, database auto incrementation section. So through that identity also we can auto increment the data. Now the next one will be the GenerationType.Identity. We have seen. Now we will see the next one is GenerationType.Table. Let's see the definition of the GenerationType.Table. Here it is written, indicates that the persistence provider must assign primary keys for the entity using an underlying database table to the ensure uniqueness. First of all, we will go to the screen, refresh the screen, and let's see what's the meaning of that. Okay, now I got it. They will create a separate table, and through that separate table they will increment the data. First I will go inside this separate table. Here I can see that default is value is right now is a default sequence name is default, and next value is right now given as 0. So if I will enter some data here, and I will refresh the screen here, here one ID is given, but in hibernate sequence I am not able to see any changes. It should change, right? Yeah. Now you can see that the next value which is indicated right now, it is given as 1. So through that it will automatically change. Now if I will add one more data here, so I'm guessing that ID will be, first one is 1, second one will be 2. Now if we will go to the hibernate sequence, default is came as 2. Now if I will edit this one and I will change it to, let's say, 32. Okay, now what I will do, again I will create one more data here. Let's go back to the console and let's, now default is 33. Let's see the coaching details table, what it is showing here. See, now you can see that 1, 2, and the third one will be 33 because we have changed the table name hibernate_sequences table, that the default, the next value is 33. So it's 32. So it incremented +1 and 33 is added here. Now through that we can understand that it will work as a hibernate_sequence. Now just like the sequence GenerationType.Sequence, we can change the table name as per our requirements. So what I will do here, Now you can see that name is changed, but the column, sequence name and next value is there. Now if you wanted to change that column names also, then that also is possible. How we are going to do that? We are going to do that with the help of a @table generator. Column name, let's say I will keep as key, and the value I will keep as next data. So I've changed the column name also. Now let's go here and refresh the screen. So if I will run this one, now you can see that key is changed and next underscore data column is there, and here it is written coaching underscore dot details instead of a default value. So through the help of a table generator, we can manipulate the column name and details also as per our requirement. Okay, now we understood three different types of a strategy of auto incrementation of the table: sequence, identity and table. Now the fourth one is .auto. Now let's see what it is showing here in the definition part. In the definition part, it is showing there, it indicates that the persistence provider should pick an appropriate strategy for the particular database. The auto generation strategy may expect a database resource to exist, or it may attempt to create one. A vendor may provide documentation on how to create such resources in the event that it does not support schema generation or cannot create the schema resource at runtime. We will not go in that much depth. We will understand up to that this auto generation will automatically create automatic incrementation of the table. Automatic increment strategy it will provide. Automatically it will look for a strategy as per the database requirement. We can change it, but it's not a. So according to the GenerationType.auto, we can understand that it will automatically select a strategy as per the database. So we have used which database? H2 database. So for H2 database, which strategy will be good? So we can see that here. For H2 database, GenerationType.Sequence will be good here. So if I am using H2 database, the perfect one will be sequence. And you have also remembered that most of the time that in all the previous videos, what I have done is I haven't mentioned any strategy. I have just written add generated value. Now what does add generated value? Add generated value this one provides for the specification of the generation strategy for the values of primary keys. Okay, now add generated value, this annotation will also automatically increment the data, and it will by default indicate the GenerationType.auto strategy. Now how we will be sure? We will go to our Explorer and refresh the screen again. Let's enter here. Now you can see that here by default it is using that GenerationType.Sequence. this is the end of the video, and in this video we will learn about different strategies of the auto incrementation of the table, auto incrementation of the primary key of the ID of the table. Okay, now in the next video we are going to talk about many other different concepts of Spring and their facilities. So stay tuned and keep watching ADHYAN channel, and if you are new to this channel, please like and subscribe and press the bell icon to get the regularly updates. Thank you.